Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Executive Insights, where every week we answer 4 business questions.
3 various levels of your business journey and 1 personal question as a business owner.
Today we will be talking about customer experience culture. I think this is the backbone for every business.
Yeah.
I am your host, Gervais Nelson, the CEO of VaceTime, as well as the founder for the VaceTime Foundation, alongside my amazing co-hosts.
Hey y'all, I am Marie Rose, CEO of Rosebud Studios and founder of Rose Petals to Success and Thorn Free Academy. Feel free to add comments, like, shares, and of course subscribe as we share our executive insights.
This is question number 1 for the aspiring entrepreneurs. What's the first step an entrepreneur should take to build a customer-centric culture for their business?
I think honestly it will come natural, right? Because if you, whatever your mission is, your focus, your belief, your values are, that is your culture.
For sure.
So if you stick to what you believe, your values, and make sure that they are shown through your business, then your culture should shine through your business, because then you will be focused on that and you'll be teaching through your policies and procedures for your business.
I literally had an experience on the way over here in the car. So for me, it's leading by example and define what your customer promise is. Like by just how you respond to complaints, how you handle feedback, how you show appreciation. Like you said, it's kind of the same thing. Like for us, we treat every job, every yard, every site like it's our own. So I lead with that, and then the people I work with or that work with me or people that we collaborate with, they see how passionate I am about that customer centricity. So it kind of rubs off onto them. So I think I lead by example, and just want to make sure you define your customer promise. Like every solution or every problem that they have, don't focus on the problem, come with the solutions. And just being able to handle complaints, man. Like that to me is a big thing. Like I said, I was on the phone on the way over here, and I'll even give you the example. I was having an issue with my car, new car, like 3 weeks old car. I called just to say, hey, I got the code. What do you want me to do next? They said, okay, we get the code, call us back, and we'll tell you what to do. I called back with the code. The manager's supposed to call me back. It was like 2 o'clock. I said, when's he gonna call me back? I had to ask, like, when's he calling me back? Okay, 4 o'clock. This is after they had me on 10 minutes, on hold for 10 minutes. I called them back at 4:20, only for them to say, well, what's the issue? I'll tell him what the issue is. And he says, well, we can handle that, or we could help you with that. I'm like, look, I'll bring it into you. And this is in Jersey. I don't really want to go to Jersey to begin with. So he's like, yeah, well, we really can't help you with that part of the problem, but it could just be a sensory thing. And I'm like, well, I don't know what that is. I drive cars. I don't make cars.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? I bought a car. It has an issue. I'm bringing it right back to the place where I brought it, and you can fix it. If it's something that's minor, that's my loss. That's my time. I drove to Jersey. So I'm willing to come to her and just tell me, it was just a light bulb here, screw it. Being able to be like, meet a client or customer on that sympathetic level, just understand that they're complaining. How you respond to that complaint you can have a loyal client for life, or you can lose a client for life. One good response, good feedback, what do they say? Like a good customer feedback is only good for like one person, but a customer complaint will lose you 10 or 20. So just one of my things. Sorry, that just happened. So that was rush. All right, question number 2. For our new business owners, 0 years in, 3 years in, business is great. Congratulations. Very proud of you and very happy for you. These are some gems to help you get ahead of the pack. So we're going to drop it right on you. This is a 2-fold question. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I kind of broke it up. What are some early signs that your customer experience is or is not working? The second part of the question is, how can you turn it around in real time if it's not working? Well, I'll take it on first. Something you can notice that is working, I guess it goes back to that whole thing. Low complaints, high retention rate. So if you're getting low complaints, low bad feedback about how terrible things are, and you're gaining more people that want to work with you more consistently, they're coming back, that is a great indicator that your business is doing really, really well and doing really well with customer experience and customer culture. So that's always like a telltale for me. And they're coming back on a continuous basis. Now you have an on-flow, a pipeline of customers that are just consistent. Because I don't like customers, I like clients. I'm always big on that. If you can turn a customer from a customer to a client, you have won in the customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
So they should be like, when you go get your hair done, you're not a customer, you're a client. How many times do you change who does your hair?
Yeah.
Not often.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your person. That's what's going to keep you going over a long period of time. So that's number one for me. When you're only selling your price. So if you're only like talking about, well, I have the best prices around, that's not really customer centric.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're leading with the number. You're not leading with your quality. You're not leading with your value. And the only thing that's going to happen in long term is that somebody's going to come along with a lower price than yours. So
Yeah.
you haven't really built that retention. Your people are going to be coming. The people are going to be going as soon as you got them. And another thing on top of that, my clients that I get into bidding wars over prices are the ones where I probably led, that was in the beginning, where I probably led with, all right, we can do this for this price just to keep them and just to get the customer. Don't ever adjust your prices. Sell your value. And people will work with you based on your value and the niceness and all those different things.
Yeah.
Focus more on your value. Focus more on your quality. Focus more on those things, because that is what's in turns what's going to get you that retention rate that I talked about in the first answer.
So a good way for you to know if your customer experience is working is that the customer begins to refer to other people. Your customers are referring to other people and telling you, I have to give your information to such and such because this is a great experience. So now you're gaining customers through your customer. Also, it isn't working if your customers ask you or come in asking a lot of questions, like they're second guessing what you offer. So that means that they don't really get it all through the presentation you're giving them. They're really doubting whether this is true, whether this is going to work, and they got a lot of questions about it. So you need to figure out what is changing here, what is adjusting. Maybe they don't feel it, maybe something looks iffy in your presentation. And like you said, leading with the price. And that's something that sometimes I slipped back on, I think, in recent years. Because if you look on social media and you see people who are in your industry, some of those people really lead with just the price. And that can be overwhelming for you to make you feel like you're missing something. But honestly, when you continue to just share what your value, you'll find ways to market without ever saying a price.
Question number 3. This is for the business owners, those who are in a scale-up phase or listening for something fresh. Maybe you have a question. Maybe you just can help it to apply it to your business. And the question is, again, I broke this one up too when I reviewed it. I thought it was just a good question. I just split it into 2 questions.
Okay.
How has your approach to customer service evolved as your business has scaled? And the second part of the question is, what systems or habits help you maintain the customer mindset first?
I have literally done the same thing since I first started. The only difference is I put other systems in place to ensure I still have the same protocol. So when I first started business, my response time was huge for me because I built it based off of what I liked. And if I'm booking something or I'm buying something online, if I don't get a response within a certain amount of time, I've already moved on to the person that was going to respond to me. And so that person would lose me because they weren't available. So when I first started, it was me doing it. Then it evolved into my VA doing it. And I purposely chose a VA that was up 12-hour difference than me because now we're touching clients that are up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And we're responding to them and they can't believe that we're answering them at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's how I was able to retain my customers. So now there's really no difference here. I still have me. If I'm up, I'm doing it. If my VA is up doing it, if I have a system doing it. But you get a response 24/7. And if we don't respond, they're say a customer is already booked in with us, and they send a message, we don't have 24 hours to answer. Within 24 hours, we need to have that answered. If not, it's an issue. So I'm really focused on our response times because I built it based on what I want my experience to be when reaching out to someone. And I've kept that since the beginning. Keeping the thing in my mind that what I would want as a customer, and making sure I keep that as forefront for my customers.
I just started doing this like a month or two ago. Project tracker check-ins. It's something that I just started doing. So once a month, we keep record of all the jobs that we do. And what we'll do is we'll check the status of the project. So basically like a warranty, in a sense, going back to this whole car thing that just happened. Sorry, I'm stuck on that. I'm kind of upset. But what I'll do is every month, going back about 2 or 3 weeks into the project, I'll see what the project was. I'll check in with the client. I'll ask them how satisfied are they with their service, trying to get that review and stuff as well. But also, I understand the weather happens. And this is why I started doing it, because it started raining really bad and stuff would get flushed out or stuff would get shifted and moved. And when I reached out to somebody about it, and I was saying, how's everything looking? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
And she was saying, oh no, when it rained, it moved. I said, okay, cool. I'll send somebody out and we'll take care of it. And she was like, I didn't know you guys would do that. She's like, how much is it? I was like, it's okay like that. And I said, no, we'll come out. It's still within that time period. I'll freshen it up and make sure everything's going, because it needs to settle. So I said, it happened. It's normal that things move around. Mulch slides. It's okay. I'll come in. I'll deepen the edging, and then we'll put it in, and we'll make sure everything's good for you. And that was something new that I did, because it really blew her away. And I was like, okay, well, this is, I'm on to something.
Yeah.
So I started this probably in like May. And then I've been doing it every month since. And people have really, really liked it. I think I've only had to go back out to about 3 homes, maybe 3 homes. And they were just really thankful for it, and it was really cool. It only took me probably like 10 minutes to fix whatever the issue was, because it was something minor.
Yeah.
And everyone that I've done the follow-up call with has been so appreciative of it and loved it so much. So it's one of those things where I guess that put me like in a client-first mindset, as far as like just understanding is you buy something, it looks nice that day, and then you go back and it doesn't look the same anymore. So you pay this price for something, and it's like, it don't look, it's like a haircut. Nothing worse than getting a fresh haircut. And then you sweat or wash your hair or wipe real John, and then your hair look crazy. And then you looking like, man, how much I just paid for this haircut? I will never get, and it's like, man, I want you to look fresh as long as I can keep you fresh realistically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as long as I can keep you looking fresh realistically within reason, I can't help the new growth. Mother Nature always wins in the end. But if it's something that's like on me, then I can go ahead and do that. Because if it slides, that's me. I did something wrong. So I'll come back and I'll fix that. Question number 4. This is our bonus question. Our moment of transparency, a look behind the curtain of entrepreneurship, the highs and the lows. Describe a time when a poor customer experience almost cost you a relationship or contract. Sorry if I got excited. I have exact thing that I'm thinking about right now. How did it turn around? And what did you learn from this experience? So, there was a customer that I had, a client, or that I almost had. And at that time, I wanted every single job humanly possible that I could have, and I would do nothing to stop until I got every client that I possibly could have. But like you said earlier, every client is not your client. Every customer is not your customer. I felt in the pit of my stomach that this person was not for me. We got into a negotiation war. We started talking about pricing. We talked about what I could save her, all this type of stuff. And it was a terrible experience from the beginning. I wasn't taking deposits. I bought all the material up front. I told her not to touch something because, when you start the work, sometimes you hit you're laughing. You remember this one. All right. So I'm not lying. He's laughing. If you can see him behind the camera, he's cracking up because he knows this story to be very true. We started the work, knocked it out, staged it a little bit. It was good. It was a good first day. Told her, it's not done yet. I will be back. We have to finish this as much as we can get done today. If we keep going beyond this time period, our work's going to get sloppy. Don't touch anything. It's not done, I promise. It will get better. If you ever start a landscape job and look at it midway through, it looks terrible. It's not good. It's not pretty. Leave the landscape work alone until it's done. Come back the next day. This woman has moved stuff. She has lifted stuff. There's all types of stuff exposed. Did not want to pay the deposit. The whole thing went sideways. I just wanted my money for the material. Could not get the down payment for the material back. Lost all the way around. Now, I could be very upset about this particular situation, but it was the best customer I've ever had. I learned so much from this woman. I learned about contracts and agreements because I now use them. I learned about deposits, 33% down to cover the material fees and different stuff. I learned about scheduling. I learned about writings. I learned about agreements. I learned about all this stuff that I now have in place that has made me probably the most professional horticultural specialist in all of Philadelphia in the world. And I say that with the most, and I say humility, because I don't boost myself up on it. It's just a fact. And I took away 5, 6, 7, I took about 8 different things that I now implemented in my core SOP practices from this one horrible experience. I'm speeding it up for the sake of time. But as you could tell by my emotion in it, it was bad. But I learned so much from this experience. I wrote everything down. I studied this whole situation during consultations. If something doesn't feel right, if it's not going according to plan, I know what questions to ask now during consultations to make sure that never happens again. I have an actual script for my consultations to make sure certain things don't happen because of her. The best customer I ever had and the worst experience I've ever had at the same time. That was mine. Enjoy.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry.
So, for me, now I want to make sure because I think you...
No, you interpret it however you interpret the question. That's the great thing about the question. The question is totally for your interpretation.
Okay, so what did I learn from the experience? Okay, so for me, I had the same thing. I had an experience with a client, but unfortunately for this, it took me to court.
You went all the way.
So,
Wow.
and this experience took me to a place where I realized I cannot operate from my heart. So I had a client and she needed to do a repass, a repass service for her husband. And she didn't have much to do it, and they needed like linen, they needed a bunch of stuff. Well, the day of, the transformer blew in the street, like a big explosion.
Like a pop.
And it took all the power out from the block. So, and it was the summertime. And this woman had people coming from all over. So at that point, it wasn't hot in the building, but it was dark. And it wasn't that dark. But I was like, oh, I could really make this work for this lady because at the end of the day, this is a memorial. And you have food catered. You have all of these things. I already have the linen. So I was on the phone with Pico. They were giving me a bunch of times, right, that they would have the generator up. And I'm watching Pico show up. And they're working, but it's around the corner. And I gave her a call and I told her. And she said, this can't be happening. I have so many people coming. I'm like, you know what? I'll make this work. And I went to Walmart. I got candles, and we made this a candlelit memorial service. I made all the decoration because now you don't have electric to blow up the balloons. So I figured out a way. We're going to blow up these balloons. I gave all the linen for free. We decorating the tables. The sternos for the food we lit. It was perfect, and it was more so that, okay, the family can all come in, they'll be able to eat together, break bread, have the memorial, but it doesn't have to be, they're not going to be here long, right, because it's no electric, right, but nobody would know. It looks like we set it up as candlelit. Well, as she's there, she waited till all of that process was done to begin to tell people how I ruined her day.
Wow. And
I'm there still running back and forth between my place and around the corner to Pico. So luckily I took pictures of the space. I took pictures of how beautiful everything looked. And they were there for 5 hours. They had the full service with the pastor. I didn't even know all this was going to happen. It was a full service with the pastor. All the family ate, everything. As soon as they left, the transformer cut everything back on. And I left right before, because I had staff. I stayed for the majority. And they were calling me and telling me I needed to come back. And I said, why do I need to come back? Because at this point, the family was very aggressive. They were screaming in my phone.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, she got to come back here because this woman has been talking so bad about me since I left. And I was like, I'm not coming up there. Why would I walk into something with all your family there?
Right.
And they were like, well, you need to give us all of our money back that we paid. And so I said, what? I went above and beyond. This was discounted, number one. And I went above and beyond. I bought candles. I did all these other things. So really, I'm not even getting paid for this already. And they were like, no, you need to give us all of the money back. And I was like, that's not happening. I'm sorry. And then they took me to court. I forget. And I went in front of the judge. And the judge, I had pictures. I used it as advertisement, the pictures. They were so beautiful. And he said to me, she cried and screamed. And the judge said to me, I'm going to just tell you something. You have a contract and everything, but you have pictures. But I need to give this to you as a lesson learned. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, because you don't have a sentence in your lease, your contract,
Wow.
that says something about natural causes. And because you don't have that, I have to award her. But mind you, she was asking for like $10,000. And she only paid me like $800. So he only allowed me to get sued for the amount that she paid. But it was a smack in the face because I was like, did he just say,
I need you to learn this lesson.
I need you to learn this lesson. And it was crazy and I just had to eat it. And from that experience, well, actually, she left. We were both in the lobby together. And I went to my car, and I see her at the intersection screaming and banging her steering wheel because she didn't get $10,000. So she then wrote reviews all over my social media. This was not even the same person, but she wrote reviews. And from there, I made sure I had my contract reviewed. He actually told me, you were better off closing the door on her than letting her in to have her repass. And for me, I thought that was the most human thing I could do was allow this person. And it made me realize that when you do those extra accommodations, a lot of times those are your worst experiences. When you discount your price, when you create packages to assist people in their pricing, when you create payment plans that you ain't never created before, when you do those things, those are usually your worst experiences. And that doesn't mean don't do it, right? Because some people, it's a small percentage of the situations where it works.
Thank you for chiming in with us. If you like that feedback, then you're going to love this week's episode airing Sunday on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe.
All right, please remember, everything that we talk about is from our personal experience, especially our PTSD moments today. So we want to make sure that we're able to align the information with your business and your industry. So we highly suggest that you schedule a one-on-one with one of us to discuss further on how we can support you and your business based on our experiences that we share in Executive Insights.
I want to say you can follow us on Instagram, @ExecutiveInsight_. And no matter what, stay inspired, never stop creating.
See ya.